Was it better or worse? You tell me. Good evening, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for joining me on this fine Thursday evening. Better or worse? Little bit of a warning. Live or worse? Carl, there's no point lying to me. I can see everything. There's no point lying to me. Better or worse? How are we doing, wonderful people? Thank you so much for joining us on this fine Thursday evening. We are going to be focusing on some 40k stuff this evening because there has been some news over the last few days. Now, we all know that the Orks and the Custodes codexes are going up for pre-order on Saturday. So we are going to have to focus on just the Games Workshop preview articles because that's all we're allowed to talk about right now, okay? We're going to take a look at those articles because I felt it's interesting, it's news, it's different. And then we will, I don't know, hang out for a couple of hours and that's it. I'm very, very sorry for those of you that are watching that we do not have a 40k game for you wonderful people. Very sorry. However, Joe messaged me earlier today. I'm sure I've told some of you already. But at 20 past 2 this morning, 10 past 2 this morning, he was in hospital with his missus because she'd had a little bit of a seizure. I will caveat right now, everything looks like it's fine, everything looks like it's okay. It was precautionary anyway, but they went into A&E, accident and emergency here in the UK, same as the ER if you're in the US or somewhere else, right? And they were there until he got into his front door just after 20 past 10 this morning. So they were out the house for around 8 hours. He obviously didn't sleep. So I chose to cancel both the shows, despite Joe's best efforts at saying, I'll come and stream still. I was like, no, that's bad. It's not good for you. It's not good for driving at that tired, etc., etc. And so I said to him he needed to take the day off, right? So Joe then went home and got to sleep. He messaged me a little while ago, having had 5 hours sleep, saying he felt like he's been hit by a bus. So I think he's incredibly grateful he didn't have to come and stream, which means you people have got to put up with just me instead. So last minute stream, what we're going to do, we'll talk about the Warhammer 40k articles in the community, reference Orks and Custodes. We'll go through those in just a moment. In the meantime, big shout out Brian Garrett for 5 gifted memberships. That is incredibly generous. Thank you so much. You are a hero. 5 gifted is amazing. And then Star Pilot. Have you been doing some of that crazy overtime or something? Oh my God. 50 gifted off the bat. That is incredible, Sam. Love you, you beautiful human being. Thank you so much for 50 gifted. You absolute legend. I love you. You're amazing. If you just got gifted a membership, there's a few things. First of all, ! Discord. Get yourself in the Great Hall Discord server. Make sure everything's connected. That means your YouTube is connected to your Discord, so it recognizes your membership level, at which point you'll get unlocked all of the threads in Discord and you can go and take yourself around Discord, have a look, see what's going on, chat to people. They're all lunatics. They're all our kind of crowd. Secondly, you can say thank you to Star or to Brian, who gifted you those memberships, but currently probably Star. A big shout out, a big thank you to Star. And if you're feeling incredibly generous, what you might even decide to do is pay the favour forward, right? Maybe you'll pay the favour forward. But Star, thank you so much. I love you. You're incredible. Please, 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 considering how much you've gifted over the course of the last week or two, don't put yourself in trouble, though. Not at my expense, please. Spend responsibly, chat. Spend responsibly, chat, right? Spend responsibly. Anyway, you people are amazing. Thank you. If you haven't already, please make sure you hit all those magical buttons on the YouTube, specifically that like button if you enjoy the content. Smash subscribe if you haven't already, and hit that bell notification icon if you want to be notified every single time we go live or drop a new video. We're going to start a poll right now. Whose rules look more promising? It's going to be Orks and Custodes. I'm going to add a caveat before we go and look at the Warhammer community article as well, right? That I haven't read any of these yet. I have no idea at the moment what's in these articles. So I'm going to have a read with you, and then you'll literally get live reaction, live thoughts about these two. I think there's 3 articles right now. So if I pull up the Warhamster community page on my screen share, boop. You have to say boop, otherwise it won't actually change screens, just so you know. That's a thing, right? Known rules look the best. Here's the Warhammer community page. So on Sunday, we had Sunday preview, green or gold, Custodes or Orks. We then have had green tides and dread mobs, new Ork detachments go back to their roots. We've had show their teamwork rules, the Galaxy new Adeptus Custodes detachments, and we've had Cry War and Let's Slip the Orks of War with the new Codex Crusade rules. We'll have a glance at this at the end, but I don't really care about Crusade rules, okay? Don't really care about Crusade, so I am probably not going to spend too much time looking at these, right? So, we'll start off with the Dread Mobs New Ork detachment. Green Tides and Dread Mobs New Ork detachments go back to their roots. Now, this is a faction that Brom recently has been really enjoying playing. In fact, he's been enjoying playing this more than his Space Marines, more than his Custodes, more than his Knights. And let's see if he's going to continue to be excited playing Orks. Because at the moment, he's having a lot of fun with Orks right now. So, Green Tides, right. In the last few editions, Orks have stuck to the fairly prescribed fighting styles of their clans, despite their anarchic nature, which lent a measure of uncharacteristic order to their otherwise hooligan battle plans. Those days are no more, for the 6 attachments found in Codex Orks are far more concerned with the units they're using to crump gits rather than the colour of their shirt, and they have a lot of crumping to do. I'm going to say this now, chat, right? I don't hate Orks or Ork players, but I hate this comedic fucking nonsense. Anyway, so where do we start? The War Tribe is back from the Index, polished up and renamed the War Horde. The new detachments let you field anything from a Beast Snagger hunting party to a Death Dread heavy mech mob. Don't worry, we'll come back to that one. But no self-respecting War would be complete without its near endless green tide of boys. Even the most basic Ork is hard as nails to begin with, but when the mob mentality takes over, they can shrug off absurd amounts of punishment and keep their thunderous charge going. Detachment rule, green tide mob mentality. So this is a detachment rule on green tide. Each time an attack targets a boys unit from your army, models in that unit have a 5+ invulnerable save against that attack. In addition, each time an attack targets an Orks unit from your army, if it contains 10 or more models, re-roll a saving throw of 1 made against that attack. So Orks getting a 5+ invulnerable save across the board as a detachment rule is probably really, really nice. And who didn't ask for more re-rolls, hey chat? Who didn't want more re-rolls? Cool. So when you're trying to mow down endless ranks of boys, they're going to be able to continue to re-roll 1s if they've got 10 or more models in the unit. I think actually typically that won't be too bad. You're just talking about the big boy blobs in terms of re-rolls. It's not a massive issue. But on the whole, a 5+ invulnerable save across the army when you've got lots and lots and lots and lots of models. Pretty nice, actually. As you might imagine, the Green Tide detachment is all about piling as many boys onto the battlefield as possible and overwhelming your opponent with sheer numbers. Its enhancements and stratagems are all about boosting units with at least 10 models in them, such as the Ferocious Show-Off enhancement, which triples its strength boost when in a crowd. It even has a way to make sure all of those models get a chance in close combat, thanks to the Bulldozer Brutality stratagem. Let's have a look. Ferocious Show-Off. This is Green Tide. This is the same attachment I just talked about. Ork infantry model only. Each time the bearer fights, while resolving those attacks, add 1 to the strength characteristic of the bearer's melee weapons. If this bearer's unit contains 10 or more models, while resolving those attacks, add 3 to the strength characteristic instead. Sounds like a cool enhancement. I kind of like it, right? I kind of like it. That's kind of cool. Bulldozer Brutality is a single command point stratagem for Green Tide, which happens in the fight phase, and you target a single boys unit from your army that has not been selected to fight this phase and is within engagement range of 1 or more enemy units. Okay, so unit hasn't fought yet, it's in engagement range, it's getting ready to fight. Perfect. Until the end of the phase, each time your unit is selected to fight, when determining which models in your unit are eligible to fight, any models in your unit that are within 3 inches of 1 or more enemy models are eligible to fight. When resolving this attack, such models can target 1 of those enemy units that is within 3 inches of them and within engagement range of their unit. So you basically, obviously, most of you know now, engagement range is within half an inch or base to base, or base to base with a model in base to base, right? This gives you a much bigger reach, essentially. Gives you another rank, roughly, of Orks that can fight, which is quite nice. For a single command point, I'd suggest that's actually really nice. I'm a big fan of that one. So sounds cool. Sounds quite orky. I'm actually into it. The 5+ Feel No Pain, the 5+ invulnerable save, I don't mind too much. I'm glad it's a 5+ invulnerable save, not a Feel No Pain, because a Feel No Pain would have felt like it's starting to get bogged down in rolls after rolls after rolls. Considering that typically Ork saves are 6+ anyway, you just basically boost everyone's armor save by 1. I think it's really nice, and it doesn't get affected by AP. It's a really cool rule. The reroll 1s isn't going to be a massive issue because you won't have tons and tons and tons of units with 10 or more. The Ferocious Show-Off's a cool enhancement. The Bulldozer Brutality is a super cool stratagem for Orks. So far, all good. All good. Of course, this means that keeping your mobs topped up is paramount, and the Come On Lad stratagem flexes regenerative powers that would make a Necron jealous. Attach a Pain Boy to the unit for maximum durability, and give your hollering muscles a good workout as the boys thunder across the board, soaking up shots that would bring down tanks. A strategic ploy stratagem, right? In your command phase, one boys from your army return up to D3+2 destroyed models to your unit, excluding characters. So minimum 3, maximum 5 models back in your unit for a single command point. Also quite nice. If sheer numbers aren't your style, and you'd rather test the limits of Orc ingenuity, the Dread Mob is a great place to use that new big mech you definitely picked up in the Stomper Boys Battle Force. Two tech head Orcs are always eager to try that button with the results that... With results that here can... back to good old days of randomised bonuses and occasional self-detonations. Gamblers can let the dice decide what their gubbers do each turn, or pick out a specific bonus at the risk of blowing up. Either way, the benefits this mechanic expertise offers your mobs of Death Dreads, Killer Cans and Mech-led lads makes it hard to resist tinkering under the hood. This is an interesting thing, right? Let's have a look at what the effect does, and we might come back to that, right? Try that button. Perfect. Each time Mech, Orcs, Walker or Grot vehicle unit from your army is selected to shoot or fight, roll... This is a detachment roll. Roll 1d6 until the end of the phase. Weapons equipped... Oh, for fuck's sake. Right, let's read through the rule. I'll tell you why this is absolute fucking nonsense. Each time a Mech, Orcs, Walker or Grot vehicle unit from your army is selected to shoot or fight, roll 1d6. Until the end of the phase, weapons equipped by models in that unit have the corresponding ability shown in the table below. Sustained hits, lethal hits. Each time attack is made with this weapon on a critical wound roll, improve the AP by 2. Alternatively, when such a unit is selected to shoot or fight, you can select one of the abilities above instead of rolling a d6. If you do, until the end of the phase, weapons equipped by models in that unit have the hazardous ability as well. If a weapon equipped by a model from a unit has the hazardous ability from multiple sources, each time you take a hazardous test for that weapon, it is failed on a roll of a 1 or a 2. This is a bad detachment rule. This is a bad detachment rule, and it's not a bad detachment rule because of the rule, because the rule itself is kind of cool. It's a bad detachment rule because admin, because you roll on it every single turn. It says, right, I highlighted it above. You can decide what their governors do each turn. Each turn, if you've got lots of walkers and mechs, if you've actually teched into Dread Mob in your list building, this is going to slow things down. It's gonna, every turn you have to roll for each unit and then remember what you rolled as well. In terms of a cool rule, it's cool, but every turn, different ability, different... Oh. That irritates me. The game's already taking longer than it probably ever has at times, and you know, the faster version of 40k. In terms of random Orc nonsense, if you're into that kind of stuff, if you like that kind of aesthetic for the Orcs, the rule's well done in that regard. I like the fact they've taken into consideration double hazardous as well, but... It's just loads of extra admin again. Every turn. Like, start the battle. Start the battle, right? Every unit, pick an ability or roll on it. Start the battle. Cool, done. Perfect. It won't be any worse than dark packs for admin. I don't know. I mean, I'm disinclined. I don't know. I don't like it. Maybe it's dark packs, but for Orcs. Besides, since we're already riding the red line, why not go all in and push it with the wonderfully named Bigger Shells for Bigger Git stratagem? The sight of a killer can single-handedly blowing up a carnifex before exploding in turn is only going to delight your boys more. Maybe I'm being unfair here because Orcs, but I feel like it's more of a problem with Orcs because number of units. It's just more admin. You're not entirely incorrect. It's not that different to. It's not that different to Dark Packs. Thank you, Dark Packs people. It's not that different to Dark Packs. I get it. You're not wrong. And sometimes, like if it's Joe with his Black Legion, it's hard to tell what's got Markers each and what's got Markers Slashes. There's already admin there anyway. But at least with the Dark Packs for Mark of Tzeentch, you know that it's got Mark of Tzeentch. If you Dark Packs it, you pretty much know what you're going to get. I don't know. I'm less of a fan of this. I'm going to be honest with you. And it's also each time it shoots or fights. So if you've got, it's a lot, right? It's a lot. Anyway, Bigger Shells for Bigger Gits. In your shooting phase, for 1 CP, you can target one mech, Orc, Walker, or Grot vehicle from your army that has not been selected to shoot this phase. Each time you use this stratagem, you can choose to push it until the end of each phase, until the end of the phase. Each time a model in your unit makes an attack that targets a monster or vehicle, add 1 to the wound roll. If you choose to push it, add 1 to the damage roll, add 1 to the damage characteristic of that attack, and until the end of the phase, ranged weapons have hazardous. So +1 to wound against monsters and vehicles, and +1 damage if you choose to push it. Hang on, each time you... Right, this is... Who do they get to write these? Each time you use a stratagem, you can choose to push it. So if you just use a stratagem, you get +1 to wound. If you choose to push it, you get +1 damage. Am I right? Am I right? Luke, thank you for the gifted. Up to 56 new members. Thank you, people. You're amazing. No postcards yet. That's only a grot-sized handful of the rules you'll get to play with Codex Orc goes up for pre-order this Saturday. And the other detachments are equally as bonkers. The Cult Speed can give their trucks and buggies a 4+ invulnerable save just by going extra fast, while the new Bully Boys mob trades the quantity of boys for the quality of knobs and gives them extra wars just for themselves. Wow. Cool. I mean, I think on the whole, as an article, if you're an Orc player, I think on the whole as an article, you're going to be probably pretty excited by this. I think, on the whole, right? It looks like all of it looks pretty good. None of it looks terrible. None of it looks boring. Like, extra fighty, extra tough and big units is cool. 5 invulnerable save, Orc players will be very, very happy about. I think the Come On Lads is cool for bringing Orcs back. That's cool. Try that button. I don't like it because admin heavy. If you take away things like time restraints from tournaments, etc., however, this is super fun. Right? This is fun. It's a fun rule. It's going to be admin heavy, and I think Orc players will need to make sure they have a way of tracking what's going on and where, but super fun at least. Like, it is fun, you know. And then we have the pushing the button stratagem, which is not worded very well. The way so someone said I don't understand it. I think it is, if you use the stratagem for a single CP, you get +1 to wound. If you choose to push the button, you get +1 damage as well, right? And you gain hazardous. I'm an Orc player, and most of it looks crap. Oh, you're not excited? I think it looks all right, actually. I don't think it looks too bad. And the promise down here of a knobs detachment with a double war, extra war as well. It says extra wars. I can't imagine I'll get more than 1 extra war. Maybe they will. Imagine if you can war every turn. Nah, that'd be too much. So maybe like 1 extra. I think it looks fun, but I'm not really an Orc player. Keen to know what you guys think, right? Anyway, that is the Orcs. Green Ties and Dread Mobs and Orc detachment go back to their roots. So that's the Orcs one, right? Now, I've heard some rumblings in the internet sphere about what we're about to look at. People being less excited about this next one, okay? Although now, chat, we're going to dive into the Custodes stuff. Let's have a look, okay? Custodes. Obviously, by the way, I'm going to go reading through this article now. If you have thoughts, opinions, you're more than welcome to shove in big, colourful postcards to interrupt me and let me know what on earth you think about any of this stuff. I think currently, from my own personal perspective, the Orc stuff, you know, I would imagine if I was to ask him, I'm quite happy with it actually. I think it looks fun, it looks different, it gives me different ways of playing. So, and I think, like, taking into consideration our experience over this course of this last week, I think if I look at that crazy Orc rule and I get upset about how much admin heavy it is, I'm like, actually, from a narrative and fun perspective, it looks like it could be quite fun. Right? So maybe I'm just approaching it the wrong way. That's the thing. Maybe I'm just approaching it the wrong way. Like, oh, how are you going to get that done in 2 hours and 45 minutes for a game? Fuck it. We didn't get that done in 2 hours and 45 minutes on Tuesday with Peaky. We had loads of fun. Maybe the randomness of that particular attachment for mechs is going to be tons of fun. I'd like to see Brom run it and see if he thinks actually it's an admin pain in my ass or it's actually okay. Right? Thank you for the 5, Luke. You're a legend. I'm sure she's going to interrupt me in just a moment. Right? Or wait. But yes, feel free to stick it on big colourful postcards. What do you think? We didn't do very well with Super Chats at lunchtime today, so I'm just, you know. That's why I have the stress dies. I love how they kept all the least used stratagems and Custodes and changed the actual good. Well, we'll get into that in just a moment, right? Orcs are all about random, so fitting. Yeah, exactly. From a fun narrative perspective, perhaps it's a great detachment role. Is Joe or Mrs. Joe okay? Yeah, it was Mrs. Joe. I think she's fine. Well, I say fine. The NHS didn't shower themselves in glory during today, but I think they're at home and they're not concerned, so let me put it that way, right? Cool. Anyway, so that is Orks. Orks is. We're going to jump back in now to Custodes.
Great stream with Peachy, and I'm looking forward to the interview. I hope Mrs. the Joe is on the mend. Late joining tonight's stream.
Thank you so much, Luke, for the 5. You're an absolute legend. You're a hero. I love you. Right, Orks. Show that teamwork rules the galaxy in the new Adeptus Custodes detachments. Now, for me, the title alone is instantly and abhorrently wrong, narratively speaking. Again, I'm going to reiterate something we've said multiple times in the past. You cannot actually 100% truly reflect the narrative in Warhammer 40k because it wouldn't work. Because if you did truly reflect the narrative in Warhammer 40k, in 2,000 points, you'd be deploying 1 to 2 custodians. That's all you'd have. 1 to 2 models. Right, that'd be it. Logically, in 2,000 points for 40k. So you can't actually narratively perfectly represent the faction. That being said, custodians aren't necessarily known for their teamwork, are they? Because often they deploy as singles. So here's an interesting title to start with, an interesting direction for them to take them. Okay. The bad part of having the studio is that loose can't be beating producer when personal short. The thing is, Jordan, it would have worked anyway, because today, one of the reasons why there's no stream tonight is because I can't stream till late. So even if Luce was here, if Luce was available to B team, it wouldn't have worked because I can't be streaming till late. So, like, it's not even the studio's not the problem tonight, to be honest with you. The Adeptus Custodes fight in the calm and collected manner of the hyper elite, the mightiest heroes perhaps in the galaxy. The tactics have been refined since the days of the Emperor, since the days the Emperor still walked, and on the rare occasions that the 10,000 fight at army strength, they employ carefully honed skills to maximise their talents or support their allies as needed. On the rare occasions, like every battle they play in now. The new Codex Adeptus Custodes collects these epic martial skills into brand new detachments, and which one you pick will have a profound effect on how you build your army. Excuse me. I always love the Custodes, but unlike most of the new codexes released so far, Codex Adeptus Custodes makes some major changes to its shield host detachment from the Index. So many, in fact, that it's practically a whole new detachment. This brings a total of new options to 4, so you can slug it out in close combat, synergize between Custodians and Silent Sisters, build an entire detachment around Anathema Psychana units, or focus on taking down powerful enemy characters. The Talons of the Emperor detachment wants nothing more than sweet harmony between the Adeptus Custodes and the Sisters of Silence, giving each side buffs that affect the other with the Revered Companions rule. The presence of a Psychic Blank protects nearby allies from psychic attacks and mortal wounds, while proximity to the Peerless Martial example set by the Adeptus Custodes units spurs the Sisters of
Orks
Silence.
looks chaotic. Instinct says sounds awful to play against but might be fantastic in person. Too early for fair opinion.
100%. Let me just let you finish the sentence. Proximity to the Peerless Martial example set by the Adeptus Custodes units spur the Sisters of Silence to fight ever harder. Jill, 100% yes, I agree. I've given you a gut instinct there. You are right. Too early to give a fair opinion. It could be fun against them in person, especially if not, constrained by competitive timings of playing at a tournament. It does look chaotic. Sounds awful to play against. Not sure. I think it's funny that that potentially the killer cans are going to want lethal and they might get sustained. I think I would almost encourage Orc players to just randomly roll on the table for no hazardous, but I think it looks okay. I think it looks fun at least, right? Okay, right. We've read that bit now. So Revered Companions says it benefits both, which is kind of cool because narratively, Valerian and Alea, that kind of stuff. Anathema Psychonic units from the army gain the following ability. Or gain the following the ability. Cool, good. Didn't even proofread the digital version for Warcom. Anathema Psychonic units from your army gain the following the ability. Brilliant. Great. Top work from a multi-million-pound company. Null Aegis, right? While an Adeptus Custodes unit is within 6 inches of this unit, models in that unit have the Feel No Pain 5+ ability against psychic attacks and mortal wounds. All other Adeptus Custodes units from your army gain the following ability. While an Anathema Psychana unit is within 6 inches of this unit, each time a model in the Anathema Psychana unit makes an attack, add 1 to the hit roll. What? Anathema Psychiatric units from the game. This is it me, right? Or is this... What? Anathema Psychiatric units from the army gain the following ability. While an Adeptus Custodes unit is within 6 inches of this unit, models in that unit have a Feel No Pain. So Anathema Psychiatric units give Adeptus Custodes units that are within 6 inches of 5 up Feel No Pain against psychic attacks and mortal wounds. Assuming Anathema Psychiatric units also have the Adeptus Custodes keyword because of how the Codex works. All other Adeptus Custodes units from your army gain the following ability. While an Anathema Psychiatric unit is within 6 inches of this unit, each time a model in an Anathema Psychiatric unit makes an attack, add 1 to the hit roll. So if Anathema Psychiatric units are within range of Adeptus Custodes units, they get add 1 to the hit roll. I think. It's worded terribly. Here's the interesting part of this as well. So far, I haven't read on yet, by the way. Models in that unit have a Feel No Pain 5+ against psychic attacks and mortal wounds. So Custodes currently have a Feel No Pain against mortal wounds. Do only revered companions get that now? Because when they changed devastating wounds from mortals to devastating, so their Feel No Pain didn't work anymore, they got absolutely trounced constantly. Right? They got trounced. So if we're saying this is the only detachment that has a Feel No Pain against mortal wounds, do they not have a defense against devastating? I don't... Interesting. That's interesting. Terribly written. Simplified, not simple, my fucking arse. The teamwork continues with the stratagems, with 4 of the 6 targeting 2 units within 6 inches of each other, as long as one of them has the Anathema Psychiatric keyword, practically turning your entire army into a macro-scale Valerian and Alea duo. Some allow your paired companions to chase down an enemy target together, such as Taloned Pincer, while others, like Talons Interlocked, establish vicious fields of crossfire to blast through the toughest armor. Talon Pincer, 1 CP, right? Battle tactic. They're both battle tactic, actually, so you can do them for free. When your opponent's movement phase, just after enemy unit ends a normal, advance, or fallback move. Up to 2 Adeptus Custodes units from your army that are within 9 inches of that unit. Your units can make a normal move up to 6 inches. Restrictions: you cannot select units in engagement range of 1 or more enemy units. You can only select 2 units if one, and only one of them, is an Anathema Psychiatric, and both are within 6 inches of each other. Oh my god. Messy. So to be able to use this stratagem, you have to have 2 units within 9 inches of an enemy unit that are within 6 inches of each other, with one of them being Anathema Psychiatric, one of them just being standard Custodes, and then you can move 6 inches. Okay. Talons Interlocked, 1 CP in your shooting phase, up to 2 Adeptus Custodes infantry units from your army and 1 enemy unit that is an eligible target for all of those units. Until the end of the phase, your units can only target that enemy unit, but each time a model in one of your units makes a range attack, improve the strength and armor penetration characteristic of that attack by 1. Cool. You can only select 2 units if one, and only one of them, is an Anathema Psychiatric, and both are within 6 inches. So if I'm reading this correctly, though, does that mean that for 1 CP, if one of them isn't Anathema Psychiatric, you could just do it on 1 unit and get +1 strength and +1 AP? Right? So the way this reads to me, 1 command point, you can pick a single Custodes unit with Guardian Spears, for example, right? Single Custodian unit with Guardian Spears, point at an enemy unit, spend 1 CP, you get +1 strength and +1 AP on that 1 unit, because otherwise you're getting strength 5 AP1 bolters, and who cares? I mean, it's not the worst, but you have to make sure that you've got 2 units within 6 inches. Like, you can just spend 1 CP, use it on 1 unit. Same as here, you can spend 1 CP, just move the Custodes unit 6 inches. Which actually, if you take away the double part of these, the nonsense with the restriction stuff, 1 CP, move unit 6 inches if another enemy moves within 9. 1 CP, +1 strength, +1 AP on a Custodes unit. They're actually good stratagems for 1 CP anyway, aren't they? Let's be honest. They're actually pretty decent stratagems for 1 CP. But you can use a Sisters unit as well if they're within 6 inches and they fulfill all the other restrictions. But if you just do 1 CP, 1 unit, it's actually still not a bad set of stratagems there, to be fair, right? Okay, not terrible. All the teamwork in the world won't save a shield captain taking unlucky blows in a fated duel. So it's fortunate that the enhancements break from the rest of the detachment and offer pure unbridled power to the one in charge. Gift of Terran Artifice gives a permanent boost for wound rolls and nothing else, a deceptively powerful bonus, while the Radiant Mantle trades offense for defense by docking the accuracy of nearby enemies. Okay, right. Gift of the Terran Artifice, Custodes model only. Each other bearer makes a melee attack, add 1 to the wound roll. Really good. It's a good enhancement. I say it's really good, right? What we don't know when they showcase these enhancements is how many points they're going to cost. So, 15 points, really, really good. 20 points, probably okay. 40 points, not so good, right? Obviously. Radiant Mantle, Adeptus Custodes model only. Each time attack targets the bearer's unit. If the attacking model is within 12 inches, subtract 1. Hang on. What? Adeptus Custodes, each time an attack targets the bearer's unit, if the attacking model is within 12 inches, subtract 1 from the hit roll. That's an interesting choice. So if you start the game when you're 24 inches apart, there's no subtracted 1 from the hit roll. Why isn't it just, if it targets the unit, -1 to hit?
Does AP even matter anymore since 80% models have an invuln? These custode rules hurt my brain.
They're not, yeah. Yeah. This has an unnecessary restriction in it for the sake of it. I don't know why. You can see the plenty of Adeptus Custodes in action soon when a special pre-order week episode of Battle Report pits the 2 cohabiting armies against each other in a full-size 2,000-point slugfest so violent it drew Gazgol Thraka himself to the field. Stay tuned to Warhammer Community to find out when that episode airs, and don't forget to pre-order the upcoming Battle Force boxes for both Adeptus Custodes and Orks when they go live this Saturday. I feel like if you are an Orks, let's have a quick scan of this one. Is it just Crusade rules? Yeah, it is. Cool. It's Crusade rules. No one cares. Perfect. That's what I thought. So, having read both of those, if I was Brom, who plays both armies, right? I would be excited by Orks. I would be less bothered by Custodes, based on what we've seen so far. Flat -1 to hit would be too strong. Right, Royal Purple. This is by their own design. Flat -1 to hit is only too strong because they allow you to put characters in units now. That's their own fault because of their own stupid fucking rule where it's putting characters in units. If they didn't put characters in, Radiant Mantle used to be -1 to hit all the time. All the time, no matter what. So now they go, you must put a shield captain in a unit. Well, now they're going to give a whole unit of Custodes -1 to hit. That's become a problem. That's their design. It's their rules that have caused the problem. How does any of those rules help the game? Oh my lord. Right. I think we've made sense of the rules at least, despite the fact they're terribly, terribly worded. This is the thing, okay? We've had some criticisms in the past for getting rules wrong, and that's perfectly fair. We play the game for a living. But this has always been part of my point.
SOS aren't much use at T3 with no invuln.
Depending on their points. Very much depends on the points. Guardsmen are T3 with no invuln, Hungerbert. They're quite useful. They die in droves, but they're also not that expensive when you get 10 for like 60 points. Right? My gifted tracker is in fact broken, by the way. I need to update it, Joseph, don't you worry. We're at 56. Let me do it now, whilst I'm thinking about it. There you go, I fixed it. Okay, thank you for pointing it out, but yes, I fixed it, there you go. So we get criticised for getting rules wrong, right? You know, we get criticised for getting rules wrong all the time, but when they're written as retardedly sometimes as these people write these rules, we do it for, my point is, we do it for a living and we still get it wrong. So how does your average Custodian player who maybe picks up his book and plays once to twice a month, how does that person pick up that book, read it and go, yeah, I know what I'm doing, I'm going to have some fun today? I mean, they don't, do they? Let's be honest. That's the problem. That's part of my issues. They don't pick it up and go, like, you pick up and read that, you're going to go, hang on, what does this mean? You're getting stressed before you put your models on the table. Hey-ho. I don't think your gifted trackers work. Oh, I've done that one already. Characters and units is way better than 9th edition nonsense when targeting rules. Maybe. Potentially, possibly, until you can have 3 captains and 3 jump captains and 3 Terminator captains in the same army. Flat -1 to hit would be too strong. We've done that one already. So this is the thing, Hungry Bear, right? So toughness 3 Sisters of Silence are fine on the whole if they don't cost 100 points for 5, right? Because if you look at Guardsmen, even Sisters of Battle, they're toughness 3. They don't have invulnerable saves on the whole. In fact, Sisters of Battle have a 6-up, right? Or sorry, they have a 6-up, of course. Not 5-up. 6-ups are kind of borderline meaningless. There is a random chance it works. It's 1 and 6. Obviously, we know the maths behind it, but they're not as reliable as a 5+. Okay. Toughness 3, no save is fine until there are 120 points for 5 with swords. You know. When the instruction book needs instructions, you've done it wrong. 100% Carl, absolutely. The Orc ones, and this is the thing, right? To be fair to them, although that specific detachment rule on Orcs is a bit admin heavy, they're not confusing. They make sense. The only one that got me was that push the button stratagem, which again isn't worded well. Once we took a step back and worked through it, it makes sense. Spend 1 CP, get +1 to wound, and if you push the button, you get an additional damage and you become hazardous. But I shouldn't need to take a step back to be able to make sense of a stratagem. It's just a fact. Unless they change something, this is a science of 10 points per model. I use them for corner for camping points. Okay, well, maybe they'll be right then. Who you tagging me for, Joseph? The -1 to hit is also in close combat if they're within 12 inches. Cool. It's alright, I guess. I have Warhammer as a way to switch off from working in law.
Ask Henry Cavill. He is super at everything.
Super! Talking about Henry Cavill, actually. I'm very excited at the moment. Amazon today launched the new Fallout series, which I haven't started watching yet. I'm really interested to see what they do with the Fallout series, because I feel like if they do a good job of the Fallout stuff, it's more positive in the future for the 40k stuff, for the Warhammer stuff in general, right? I want my Orc guns to have quick shooty cranks. I'm still gonna get my head around the Space Wolf strats. Fair enough. We've done that one already. Postmark could be fielded as 4 to 10. Currently, Joe, they could be fielded as 4 to 10, right? We don't know how that's going to change in the new book, or if it's going to change at all. It might be the same. Don't think we need a Sister of Silence only detachment when we got the 1 combined, and since we have only 4 detachments in total. Do you not think 4 detachments? And so I actually would like a whole Sisters of Silence detachment. I think that's a good choice, because I am more like, I love the Sisters of Silence models more than I love the Custodes models. I quite like the Custodes models on the whole, but I definitely prefer the Sisters of Silence models. So I would want more variety, but I like the concept that potentially I can field a 100% Sisters of Silence army. So I'm a person who would want a Sisters of Silence detachment. But again, we are in this monumental imbalance between, hey, if you're a Dark Angels player, you get 7 detachments in the Space Marine book and 3 detachments in the Dark Angels book, giving you a total of 10 detachments to play with. 10. You can play with 10 detachments if you're a Space Marine player who plays Dark Angels. We can probably rightly assume that Space Wolves and Blood Angels will be similar, right? Oh, you're a Custodes player, you get 4. You get 4, that's it. I'm on 4th episode of Fallout and it's awesome. Perfect, it's amazing. Keanu, thank you for the gifted membership, you're a legend. Up to 62. First couple of episodes of Fallout have been pretty good so far. Gets me excited, good. I'm on episode 3 of Fallout, I think it's pretty good. Amazing. I love my Sister Silence models. I just wish they had more than 5 monopose models for the range, plus a layer. That's my point, Hungry Bet, right? If you're gonna build a whole detachment, I wanted a whole detachment of Sisters. I think that's a good move on the whole. But I would want more variety in Sisters. of silence to make it worthwhile for a whole detachment. Otherwise, if you're sticking, like, I don't like repeat models. I'm not a huge fan of them, and I understand that sometimes with rank and file troops, it just can't be helped on occasion. But the concept of having the same monopose 5 models duplicated once in a 10-man unit and then duplicated multiple times across multiple units doesn't really appeal to me. Tau get 3 in 1 crew. I'm happy, but could have done 2 more detachments. It's weird. Isn't it weird though? I feel like Tau could have easily had another 1 or 2 detachments. Here's the thing. When they used to have the old Tau Codex, you had the multiple seps. You had Tau Sep, you had Sasea, you had Borkan, you had Farsight Enclaves, etc. Right? Now you've got 3 and 3 in crew. Space Marines 7 plus your individual chapter ones. Tower also. Oh, I've done that one. I felt like when the first books came out, and it was Tyranids and Space Marines, and Tyranids had 6 and Space Marines had 7. I was already. I'll be honest with you. I'll be straight up and I'll be open. I didn't really say it that much at the time, but I was sort of like, why do Marines get 1 more than Tyranids? Why did they do that? Because surely it would make sense that most codexes just have the same number of detachments. I also kind of assumed, wrongly, but I kind of assumed that when we saw the chapter codexes for, say, Dark Angels, that potentially what we were going to see was, you know what? You don't get access to Space Marines. If you're going to be Dark Angels, you're going to be Dark Angels. You're going to be Black Templars. You're going to be Black Templars. What that means is you can't take a fucking Librarian because that's stupid. If you're Black Templars, you're Black Templars. And they haven't. They've gone, no, you get access to everything still. So, Weeman, I know 10th branched away from having Sasea and Tau and Borko. I know it branched away from all that. I get that. But what I'm saying is they had 5 or 6 different detachments, essentially, right? And they could have potentially ported across the 5 or 6 detachments and made one of them feel more like Borkan, and one of them feel more like Sasea, and one of them feel more like Farsight Enclaves, right? They could have done that, and then this is basically what they've done with Space Marines. It's basically what they did with the Space Marines. They went, hey, this one feels like Iron Hands, and this one feels like Imperial Fists, and this one feels like White Scars. But they haven't done it with Tau, and they haven't done it with Custodes, it seems. I'm just struggling to work out. It feels it feels very much like different people are writing different codexes again. So a game that I can easily pick up and play without having to remember rules upon rules. I'm giving it another shot because my friends are getting into it, but I'm worried when Chaos Knights come out. Is that what you're looking to play, Star? Chaos Knights? CSM's going to get 8. Yeah, they have said CSM's going to get 8 detachments. I find with only 4 Tower detachments, a lot of the old TEP rules weren't that good. I guess where I'm going with it is, I actually don't mind, genuinely, whether it's 4 or 8 detachments, but I feel like surely every book should have had the same. I would have taken that 100% by moving forward. No, I 100% get it. We can't change it. It's like it's partly my job to sit here, talk about it, maybe complain a bit. But like I feel like you could have perhaps done 4 detachments for Space Marines and it would have been okay. You know? Why would a Custodians player ever take the stupid Contemptor when we have cooler dreads other than the rules for all of them suck? On the bright side, the Custodians combat patrol looks good. Does it? Did they show that off in the pre-order? In the pre-order preview thingy. Orks, Ork box, combat patrol. Oh, they did. Oh, they've made changes. Right, hang on. Cool. This is something we can share. Let's have a talk about this quickly. I didn't look at this one. But we have the preview. I'm going to watch the little video. The Galaxy's finest warriors are crashing down into the current edition of Warhammer 40k. Oh, and the Dempsey Custodians are here too. So Codex Orks. By the way, one thing they do right sometimes is their books. Look at that artwork on the front of that book there. It just looks beautiful. It's really nice as a limited edition book. I'm a big fan, right? Battle Force Stomper boys. So you get a Stomper. I love it, right? What did you get? Definitive document for playing Orcs, essentially. Cool. As for the rules, there are 51 data sheets, 6 complete detachments, new crusade tools to launch the Galaxy Shaking War, and a combat patrol in the form of more Grimm's Butchers and ornery gaggle of Beast Snagger boys. Battle Force Stomper Boys. There's a new Orc Big Mech, and this box is the first place you can get him. He's accompanied by a full Orc army. 10 Orc Boys, 10 Looter Boys, who can be built as Burner Boys, a truck and a Stomper. This is a truly mighty force to be reckoned with, and the Big Mech can lead either the Boys or the Looters. He has 2 head options and weapon options, including a custom Mega Blaster, a Tractor Blaster, a Power Claw, and a Driller. He sounds like a fucking cool model. Big fan. And anything that encourage, please make the Stomper usable again, GW, please. Anything that makes us do a Stomper good, I'm up for. Although I'm not entirely sure this is a full army. I think that's a bit of a lie there, but you know, cool box, like it. I like it. I have no complaints. I have no complaints. Combat Patrol Orks. This is the Combat Patrol box, which is Beast Snagger heavy. What I like about this is it's very different to this. You can get one of these and one of these, and you haven't got tons of overlaps, which is nice. Known as Morgrim's Butchers, this mob of angry Beast Snagger Orcs are clearly disappointed by the death of big monsters and vehicles in Combat Patrol and are taking out their frustration on everyone else. You get a hulking Beast Boss flanked by 20 Beast Snagger Boys and backed up by 4 Squig Hog Boys, making this a hard-hitting Combat Patrol with lots of big charge energy. Looks cool. Like it. I'm a fan. Data cards, cool dice. Love it. 8, 9, 10, 12, 13, 14, 16. Not good enough. Get your 16 6-sided. Why 16? Why are we getting less now? Hey. Custodes, but again, right? Glorious artwork. Super cool looking book. Big fan of these limited edition books.
Can we just get the FW models for Custodes and SOS in the Codex?
Thank you, David Five, the legend. What a hero. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for the donate.
Sisters of Silence are rare. You need to field hundreds when they will die so easily, and I'd target them at the outset to get rid of the feel no pain.
Oh, I didn't think about that problem. That is a problem. Thank you for the 9, Ben. I guess that's true. Just kill all the squishy Sisters of Silence and you lose all your benefits. You lose your +1 because they're all dead, and then you lose your feel no pains. 800 points for a Stomper, is it? Cool. Love it. Oh, look, a single new mini in a huge box. Yeah, I have to get the mini straight away, right? Cool. Take the 10,000 out for a spin with Codex Adeptus because that is the essential companion, blah, blah, blah. Like I said, beautiful. They do such a nice job of this, right? Honestly. New Battle Force Orks champions. This still looks horrific. I need to see this model in person. Look, he just doesn't fit. It doesn't fit. It looks like a dumpy, squatty, shitty, terribly photographed captain. Talking about photographs, more on that with the Peaky interview. Okay. The brand new shield captain leads an overwhelming force of Custodians in the Orks Champions Battle Force. The captain comes with 2 head options and wields a powerful Pyrethite Spear, while his bodyguard comprises 5 Wardens, 6 Solaris Terminators, 6 Vertus Protus Mountain of Fists and Jet Bikes. Like, as a start collecting Custodes box, this is pretty good on the whole, I think, personally. Like, if you want to get going in Custodes, here's a good start. We'll look at the Combat Patrol in just a moment. He looks awful. In every photo they've showed of me so far, he looks awful, right? Whereas if you look at the Orc, what's his name, Mech, he looks cool as shit. He gets lots of gun options and head options. This guy just gets 2 different heads. And one of them you don't want to ever use because it looks terrific. It looks terrible. He looks like a Votan cosplaying Custodes. 100% Toxtrodos, yeah. Combat Patrol. So you've got, 5 Wardens, 6 Solaris Custodian Terminators, 6 Jet Bikes and a Shield Captain. You can then pick up the Combat Patrol. You can get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Custodian Guard, 3 more Wardens, 4 more Wardens, 5 if you include a Shield Captain, 3 more Alaris Custodians, and a Blade Wizard. It's actually not bad. If you put them together, it's a pretty decent force, right? Wield the Golden Sword of the Emperor in smaller scale Warhammer 40,000 games with Combat Patrol Adeptus Custodians, which also makes for a great starter to a larger army. The patrol is led by a charging Blade Champion, who can assemble his force of 5 Custodian Guard, and a choice between 3 Wardens. You'll get all the miniatures in the box, but they're just too powerful to take out the whole lot in a single game of Combat Patrol. I mean, so that you don't get to use the full army in Combat Patrol, but again, you buy that box, you've got a ton of Custodians. They look super cool. I'm into it. But yeah, no Sisters of Silence in the box at all. All these bits are cool. Oh, that's nice. Oh, that's nice. Well, that's really nice. And here's the thing, right? Remember what we said about? Do you remember what we said not so long ago about the Krieg book? They said coming later this year. This new Orc book, new Custodes book. So, oh, that's Age of Sigmar. It looks like a Custodian there. I lied to you. New Orc book. Orcs being released. Oh, Children of Teclis. That's good. Okay. I mean, they all look like good boxes. It annoys me that the new characters are stuck in what's probably going to be £120 boxes. That's mildly irritating. But it's not new, is it? Let's be honest. Ironically, the Ork Champions box would be a terrible start to an Ork Champions detachment. I don't know what's in that detachment. I heard the new Combat Patrol is very good price and points-wise. For the Custodes, I mean, almost definitely. Almost definitely. Because Custodes are just expensive in points, right? The spear looks great, it does, yeah. Custodes Combat Patrol is 10 out of 10. New rules are 2 out of 10. A complete take-apart of the faction. I have to reiterate, chat. I'm only talking about what we've seen so far on the Warhammer community page. We are only talking about what's on the Warhammer community page. I am aware that there has potentially been a leaked Custodes Codex somewhere. I'm aware. We are only talking about what's on the community page because I do not want to get myself into trouble. If you tell me things now, I can talk about those things, but I'll only talk about those things that you've told me. I don't like talking about leaks, okay? So I haven't looked at the leaked codex, and I'm not talking about it because I do not want to get myself into trouble. Because as I'm sure you can all assume, and I'm allowed to say this, so this isn't news, I'm allowed to say this, we have both books. We will be showcasing them on Tuesday. That's all I can say. That's all I'm allowed to say. It's not news to anybody, right? We have the books. We're previewers. They go on pre-order in 2 days' time. It makes sense. We would already have them by now on the off chance we were launching our preview content at 10 a.m. on Saturday, which we're not going to be doing. We're going to be doing it on Tuesday, where Brom's bringing the Orks and I'll be bringing Custodes. It's not news that we've probably already got those books because we're previewers. That's not a surprise to anyone. I'm not breaking anything. I've had confirmation that I can say that we have them. We have them. I still will not talk about anything other than what's on the Warhammer community articles. Tenth isn't interesting enough for anyone who says we care about leaks. I still think the Orc rules look fun. I think the Orc rules look good. The Custodes ones, there's not enough context. Context is important. Again, just using the preview pages, just using the preview page, right? On Warcom, out of context, they don't look like terrible stratagems. The only thing that concerns me, which I didn't even think about when I read the rule, is if someone goes, "Well, I'm just going to kill all your Sisters of Battle units." Sorry, Sisters of Silence units. I'm going to kill your Sisters of Silence units, right? Once they're all dead, you lose your 5-up feel no pain against psychic and mortal wounds. That's your army rule done. That's your detachment rule done. But the stratagems are still usable. You can't use them for 2 units anymore. You can only use them for a single unit. But the like 1 CP, move 6 inches is cool. 1 CP plus 1 a wound. Plus 1 strength, plus 1 AP is cool. They're good strats. Not rushing back into 40k after those rules, sadly. Do you play either of those factions, Kai? How many spelling mistakes have you found? Oh my god, the influencers that use the minis actually get the stuff right out there.
If you're a Custodes fan, you don't want to look at the leaks. Go play your index games and have fun.
We didn't get the boxes, Carl. Oh, we don't have the new models. Thank you so much for the 5, Stephen, by the way, as well. You're a legend. 62 members, by the way, chat. It's lying to you again. It's not tracking properly. 62 members. We are 62% of the way through our target. Because, you know, maths and shit. Which means just 38 to go. And we'll hit the big 100 members, right? £35 in super chats. I bet a bunch of you have got lots to say about the rules that have been showcased so far. please, please, please feel free to stick them on big, colourful postcards so Amy reads them out to me and I can laugh at what you've said. And I can look into the camera and nod knowingly. I'm not... Oh, Stephen. You stop it. Thank you so much for 10 gifted, Stephen. You're an absolute fucking hero. What a legend for 10. Amazing. Not quite as cool as Star, but, you know, pretty close. Thank you so much for 10 gifted memberships, you fucking hero. What a legend. Putting us up to 72, it should showcase now. What a hero. Jill with a 1 as well, putting us up to 73. Thank you. Mordy with a... Oh, my God. 74. I wasn't expecting this. I was a bit like maybe 4 more. Right. I was going to lead into Custodes after I finished my Elder, but I've knocked all 40k once on the head. I'm very tempted to get the boys back off the shelf. My mostly 4th Green Tide might be viable. It might be actually Return to Old World. Kai, I don't know what to say. Here's a statement, right? I mean this sincerely. This isn't for a reaction. This isn't to be shocking. This isn't to just throw a temper tantrum. This is genuinely my feeling. If I didn't have the channel, the studio, the team, I probably wouldn't be playing 40k right now. Now, that's not to say I'm not having fun, because we've had to force ourselves to have fun. And that's not a good place for an edition to be, where you have to force yourself to have fun and play the game differently to enjoy it. Now, that's not saying it's not a good edition. That's not me saying it's terrible. That's not me saying that the game's rubbish. That's me saying that for me personally, it's not very fun on the surface. Just rules as written and playing the game, I don't think it's as fun, right? Personally. So I'm not... if I was just playing the core game, picking up games at local gaming stores, or going to tournaments, I think I'd be having a torrid time. I think my 40k would firmly be on the shelf, and I'd be doing things like I was doing at lunchtime and leading into this.
I have literally nothing to say about these rules. Have a postcard though.
Chris, thank you so much for the 5. Everyone should just do that for 5 quid. Right? Yeah, if it wasn't for the channel, I would have shelved 40k. I wouldn't be playing any games, and I'd be building this stuff to play Age of Sigmar at the moment. That being said, I'm still nervous about some of the wording around 4th edition Age of Sigmar currently. All that in mind, we are enjoying the game because we don't have to enjoy the game, but if I played every game of 40k on the channel twice a week and we just moaned about the rules the whole time, everyone would be like, this is fucking dull, this is boring, and it just gives me feels bad, and no one would come and watch the show. So we've made fun out of the game, and I genuinely think, Kai, I don't know what your local gaming scene's like, I don't know what your friend group is like, I genuinely think there is fun to be had playing this game. Genuinely believe there's fun to be had playing this game. And I've had, like, Tuesday with Peachy was fucking so much fun. You know, every time I play Joe, I look forward to it. I genuinely heartfelt look forward to playing Joe. Very lucky because we have, you know, those sorts of people that I get to play with frequently, and I don't have to pick up gaming store games or tournaments. Des says, I've done 17 tournaments in 10th edition, still enjoying it. I personally think I'd hate that experience. But I also know a ton of people that are enjoying themselves at tournaments. So, you know, I'm genuinely just a little bit sad that, because I also think to myself, if I didn't have the channel, I didn't have the people that I had who I'm playing with, if I had have shelved 40k, I'd have been missing out on, I think, a ton of fun that I'm having right now. So it's a shame, but I also get it, mate, totally. Siege Roots, thank you for the 5 gifted. You're an absolute legend. Thank you so much for 5, man. That's incredible. Everyone say thank you to Siege Roots if you got one from Siege Roots. Everyone say thank you to Steve if you got one from Steve. Also, Tony Winnick, thank you for the 1 more gifted as well. Up to 80. The tracker is fucking having a temper tantrum today, and it's annoying me. But thank you so much, Tony, for the extra one. We're actually on 80. I actually have to go back to basically manually updating, but thank you so much, man. What a legend. It's okay. It's also okay to set a game aside for a while. I did it with 6th and early 7th for various reasons. After playing 2nd through 5th, came back in 8th in a big way and love it. Time away can be good. 100% it can be. But I don't like. You're absolutely. I completely agree. You're right. I completely agree. You are right. Time away is good. I can't take time away the channel. What I'm saying is, although this can possibly be seen negative that we've had to force the fun into it, what I'm saying is, I haven't had to shelve what's always been my favourite game, and I am still having fun and enjoying it. You know. what I'm saying is I think there is still a lot of fun to be had in this game on the whole, and I don't want to be all doom and gloom. I think that... Do you know what my biggest complaint is how different what is being given to us is compared to the market.
I am hopeful for Talons, and I think there's some interesting play in Shield Host. I got royally lambasted in the Custodes Reddit for saying as much and being positive. I'm happy for all players.
But Steve, thank you for the 10, by the way. I like that attitude, mate. Genuinely, I like that attitude. I like that. Like, there's two ways. If you look at a codex, or a book of detachment, anything, and you go, that's dog shit, there's kind of two ways you can go about it. Way number one is, that's fucking dog shit, I give up. Which is perfectly reasonable, by the way, and you're more than welcome to do that. Way number two is, it looks pretty dog shit, can I make it work? Can I try and have some fun with it? Now, if you're an AdMech player, you may have tried option 2 and realised that actually the book is just dog shit, and for those people, I genuinely feel very, very sorry for them. But there's got to be some kind of play in some of the book, at least, you know. Let's be fair, 40k is in a bad spot. I admit I don't play enough, but even if I did, I can't commit a fortune to a game that I could well get pissed off with. I get it, 100%. Fella who runs the gaming group I used to go has shifted to old world due to enjoyment nostalgia factor. For me, the fun comes with who you play with, 100%. I think the worst part of all of this is that GW has been so successful in putting the tournament scene against everyone else in the race to the bottom. Agree. The internet loves doom and gloom. Heaven forbid someone likes something. Absolutely. Thanks for the 10 though, Steve. I'm glad you're positive about it, genuinely. Do you think a big part of how you feel is down to hobby fatigue? It's been a full-time job now for a couple plus years. Maybe it just now feels like a job and it's hard to switch that off when playing. Nah, honestly, Will, genuinely speaking, and I'm sure a lot of people go, our course is going to say this, genuinely don't think it's hobby fatigue, because I'm currently building Age of Sigmar and just loving it and just enjoying it and having fun with AOS. Which you could argue it's then 40k fatigue because what my sole focus has been. But like I've said, I play games with people like Joe and Peachy and Brom, and I'm having fun. I'm enjoying myself. I'm enjoying the games. I love my fucking job. I love talking about this hobby. I love focusing on this hobby. I love building. I love painting when I get the chance. And now I'm feeling a bit more motivated to paint. I love collaborating with people. I love playing the games. I love all of this stuff. I just think the rule set's bollocks. And this is a personal opinion, and there are plenty of people that think the rule set's great, and that's perfectly fine. I'm not telling you you're wrong. I'm telling you that I think they're bollocks. And out of the last 4 or 5 editions, this is by far not my favourite edition at all, right? Just not my favourite, not even close to my favourite. But that's okay, it happens. Iterations of rule sets come out, iterations of games come out, and sometimes it's not as good as the last one that you played, or not as good as another one you played, and it's a bit worse. It happens, that's a thing. And you know what? Sometimes they make big changes where you don't like them and that lots of other people do like them. And for the company, it could be seen as a success. And you don't like it. That's okay. And big brands can change designs of cars or designs of mobile phones.
As long as my friend stays interested, I'll probably keep trying.
I'm glad.
I'm just worried about the rules turning him off playing. Really don't want to get him the Ork box for $300 and him not play after all, eh?
No, I 100% get it. I would strongly consider layering rules in, like they're saying they're going to do with Age of Sigmar, so that, like, to start with, me and Peachy basically didn't use stratagems on Tuesday and it was more fun. Layer the rules in so he doesn't get overwhelmed, right? That's what I would do. Okay. So yeah, so sometimes big car, thank you by the way, Star, for the 10, you're a legend, I love you. So sometimes big car companies change the design of a car. And people go, oh, I don't like that. That's awful compared to what we had before. Sometimes mobile phone companies change the design of their mobile phones. People go, oh, I don't like that. It's different. It's I hate it. I'm not a fan. And some people, when those big brands do those things, they hate it enough, they stop using that brand. They'll switch brands. And I've picked 2 out of thin air, but lots and lots of companies do this. You know, I've known people that have swapped companies simply because they changed their logo and they didn't like it. It's a thing that happens. It is a thing that happens, you know? Cool. Whatever. That's fine. 40k's changed its rule set from 7th, 8th to 9th. I wasn't a huge fan of 8th from 7th, but it was fun. I'm monumentally against the way 10th is right now, you know? It happens. But I'm not going to walk away from the brand at the moment because they've done something that I don't like, because I do get tons of people in chat that say I'm having loads of fun, I'm playing tournaments, I'm enjoying myself, I'm really enjoying 40k, I've come back in 10th edition. So just because I don't like it doesn't make the rule set bad. It just means I don't like it compared, right? That's the difference. The other thing as well is, in terms of why I think I get so irritated, and that's around the 10th edition launch language. We recently, I think it was either this morning or late last night, hit 1,000 likes on the Peaky stream from Tuesday. Okay, I was like, have I ever had 1,000 likes on a live stream before? Have I ever had 1,000 likes? And I scrolled back and scrolled back and scrolled back, and the last time I got 1,000 likes was on a stream around 10th edition and the launch of 10th edition. I looked at the live viewer numbers and I looked at the after the fact viewer numbers. Everything was up compared to now. Everything was up. Now, we're a channel that's considered as doing quite well, and everything was up back then compared to now. Much better then than now. And obviously, there was a launch of a new edition, a launch of a big edition, so that makes a big difference. But I did a stream after the launch streams we did at Titans, where I talked about the top 5 changes that I would make to 10th edition, right? And that is the last one that got 1,000 likes. And I did that shortly after the launch of 10th edition. The big problem I have around that launch was I generated a lot of hype around that launch because I was incredibly excited. And I was incredibly excited because of the language they were using. Simplified, not simple. Less rerolls. That sort of stuff. And none of that has actually come to fruition, has it? That's my problem. The wording to try and make it... Here's the thing as well. And this is where I'm going to get really on my fucking high horse about it. I think it's because of tournament people. Because why do you need 75 sentences to put a simple rule on the table? It's because some word twat somewhere will go, well, technically, it means I can do that. Fuck off, dickhead. It's their fault, technically. It's word... Rules as written. Oh, my God. That's why. It's complete BS to have less detachments than other factions. Custodes player here, and they are staying on the shelves for me. No flavour whatsoever. Shame. That's sad. I'm sad for you, Lewis. Genuinely. Thanks for the comment, dude. I am sad for you. I run a hobby shop. I can get why people can get tired. I don't know. I get bummed with a faction here or there, but I can find great parts of the game to keep me psyched. And this is the thing. Like playing my World Eaters in 10th edition right now. I'm loving it.
GW ring you tomorrow, bring you in as a consultant, fix 40k, your first balance data slate, and your strategic plan?
It's incredibly difficult that at the moment. Dave, thank you so much for the 5, you're a legend. It's incredibly difficult to actually answer that one because I don't know data. I'm moaning about 10th edition. Data might be really good about player numbers to start with. I need data, I need meaningful data. I think that there's a number of things we need to do. The thing is as well, also having been a sorry Des, love you, having been a playtester in the past, I know how far in advance this stuff is written, sometimes up to and including 12 months in advance this stuff is written, right? So the problem you have right now is GW ring me tomorrow, bring me on as a consultant, fix 40k your first balance data slate. It's almost impossible. The beast is rumbling along, right? The conveyor belt is turning. You can't stop what's coming in the near months. You just can't. They can tweak the releases a little bit, but you can't stop the beast. I think honestly, what I would probably do if that ever happened, it's never going to happen. Let's be honest. If that ever happened though, and I had that phone call as a consultant, right? Do you know what I would do with the balance data state? Fuck all. I'd let them keep doing what they're doing right now. My strategic plan in April, on the 12th of April 2024, my strategic plan would be like, you lot keep fucking around with 10th edition. It's bollocks. Because I genuinely, personally believe the way that this gets fixed at the moment is 11th edition. My only saving grace from this quick turnaround 3 years to an edition is we've got 2 more years of 10th. So my strategic plan is focus on the new edition. Let's get the core structure of this right. We're in April, right? I would want to have a core rule set written within 2 to 3 months. So let's say April, May, June, July time. I want to be starting to playtest 11th edition in July. 2 fucking years of playtesting is what you need. Genuinely, it's what you need. Because this hasn't been tested well at all. This has not been tested well at all. And whoever's involved in playtesting this, especially if they're not within Lenton Road, if they're not at Warhammer World, whoever's been involved in playtesting this should flat be embarrassed, honestly. Hey. Anyway, yeah, it's like I was saying about World Eaters. That's strong, I know, but about World Eaters. So if I'm gonna walk up to the table and play World Eaters in their index or Dark Angels with their codex, you know what? I already know I'm probably gonna have fun. Quick fix would be a Maelstrom deck. Oh, Kev, 100% I would develop a Maelstrom deck in a heartbeat. Actually, I've been digging out Maelstrom cards at the studio. I want to try it. I want to try some Maelstrom fun. But I need to find cards and make it fit. The rules must be written in a way no one will argue or find holes in them. In my opinion, some tournament players have such inflexible minds. I feel like the biggest issue with them often, however, Bastion, is that some of them will read it in a way they want it to work, somehow make that fit as per rules as written, blah blah blah, and you know, and then you have I used to TO too many events. People were bickering about, and I'm like, how are you arguing about this? But it's because the player arguing in his own favour is, you know, it's so incredibly like, this is what I need, this is how it works because it makes me better, makes my army stronger. Like they're so set on it, you know. Do it well. You would think that the editions wouldn't be flipped on their head constantly and be continuously refined over years and years, but hey, how it is what it is. Well, the thing is, Royal Purple, I think it's better for revenue. A big 40k edition launch every 3 years is better for business revenue, isn't it? You know, despite what we think of 10th edition at the moment, how much money do they make over the launch of 10th edition? That's the problem. The problem with GW, this is never going to change, by the way, and it's also not necessarily a reason to walk away. But the problem with GW is it's a big corporate business with shareholders. You know what shareholders need? Shareholders need a business to be making profit. I got about 10 different Maelstrom decks. Let me know where to send them. Oh, you're a fucking legend, Ray. I don't know what the game is like at the moment, but the detachments for the Orks are all luring me back to 40k, having been away since the amount of contempt for Armor of Contempt days. Do it. Do it. Shrunken Designer, get back in. Someone get that man a membership. Get him in Discord. The second people come into our community, they'll never leave an edition. Almost. It's a good shout. 2 more years. It's why I'm waiting for 11th and focusing on fantasy-based modelling. Well, here's one of the beauties with Games Workshop, at least at the moment, Touchwood, currently, right? Is you have, in effect, right now, 4 very different big games, right? 4 very different big games. 40k 10th edition is quite different to Age of Sigmar. Age of Sigmar is quite different to Heresy. And Heresy is quite different to Old World. Okay, right? You have 4 different games. If you're not enjoying 10th edition 40k, it is possible that one of those other 3 gaming systems will appeal to you. You know? And so you can step away from 40k and still enjoy your hobby. Like I've been building, you guys have probably seen it on stream, right? Been building llama riders, you know, or the Hurricane Wind Riders, whatever the fuck they're called, right? Do you know what? I'm enjoying my hobby so much right now, so much, and it's still the same company. Not just profit, but more profit every year. Shareholders need growth all the time. Unfortunately, 100% they do. Yeah, I get it, right? But you see what I'm keeping it, you know, I'm keeping it simplistic, but I agree. Stephen, thank you for the gifted. Up to 81. 19 to go, chat. 237 people in chat. 141 likes. Can we get to 200 likes? That's free. That part is free. Haven't you said yourself you've got stock in Games Workshop? I have, yeah. I got 10 shares. I've got 10 shares in Games Workshop. Is it equivalent to about £1,000 in shares, I think? Should we have a look? Should we have a look at what my shares are worth? Bought them ages ago. Before 10th. Where's my share app? The thing is, right, I do have shares in GW. The thing is, I believe the way in which you go about making your business worth more money isn't the way in which they're going about making a business worth money. But then I'm not a businessman, you know. I mean, I am, but not at that level. So you have to take what I think I know with a pinch of salt, because I'm by no means an expert. And I'm always like, look after your audience, look after your core customer base, look after your staff, and your business does better. But hey, what they're doing is making them literally millions and millions of pounds. So my portfolio is currently worth £999.50.
Detachments don't work unless you change the points value for datasheets per detachment. Dead wounds should be 1 mortal extra, damage as normal.
Yeah. I think you're actually not entirely wrong there.
I felt when 10th was first rolling out it was going to be shallower than 9th, and I hated that. They tried to make a game for everyone and made a game for no one. Competitive play will always be there.
I see, Drew, I actually, do you know what? 10 out of 10. Thank you for the 10 anyway, but 10 out of 10. 100%. Made a game, tried to make a game for everyone, made a game for no one. For me, I would go as far as to say, so I think my favourite edition was 7th, which is controversial. But that's when I probably really got serious in the hobby, and I think I really, really enjoyed it, right? I think my favourite was 7th. I will go on a limb here and say Peak was 8th. And the reason why Peak was 8th, the rules were simpler than 7th, without being too simple, okay? They just were simpler than 7th. You had a rule set that had Eternal War missions and Maelstrom of War, which was Peak, right? Which is absolutely excellent. Maelstrom of War, incredible, okay? So that's great. No competitive focus in the rulebook, no such thing as actions, okay? Then what happened is ITC, Frontline Gaming, made ITC format missions, where they took the 8th edition rules and they built a competitive tournament pack to make competitions work, right? And so you had GW focus on just making a fun game, and ITC go, how do we take that fun game and mold it in competitive? And so you actually kind of had something for everyone at that point, right? That's not what we have right now. It's just not. And I think you're right what you've done. I think they kind of have tried to make a game for everyone with a focus on competitive play. And I think it's not done a great job there. Right, chat. I need to use the bathroom quickly, and Luce isn't here, so you need to wait for me for 2 minutes, right? 2 minutes. Oh my lord. Don't get me wrong, it wasn't quite Joe, shoes, socks, trousers off in a hedgerow, but yes, thank you, you three people, for the poo. Thank you, Steve and Dave, for the poos. You're amazing. I get to see the wonderful Pardo in 2 days at my local heritage. Thank you for the poo. Is he coming to the UK, is he? Fucking love that. Great guy. Ones and twos and shots confuse the heck out of them. Thank you, Dave. Steve, I don't need 3 poos. Right, it was just a quick bathroom break. Sometimes nature calls. It's rare, but sometimes. I like combat-themed armies, so 40k is a bust. AOS is not strategic enough, hence I'm leaning into Old World. Only 5 people play Horror Heresy. I'd be interested to see what happens with AOS strategically in the new edition, Kai, to be fair. 7th was the combination of years of playing and additions to try things made a great addition. The problem came when GW broke the hell out of it to push people to happy to accept it. Did you think that's what happened, Garci? Do you think the end of 7th edition, so 7th edition, if we take the core rules for 7th edition, right? The core rules for 7th edition, I actually think the core rules were very, very good. I think people's issues with 7th edition typically comes from detachments and all the extra like nonsense that happened when you got free this and free that and fucking like that's where the problem came, I think, with 7th edition. The second they were like, hey, if you're Space Marines, you get all these free fucking Razorbacks, you know. That was the issue, but the issue wasn't the core rule. Some issues were cool. Thank you, Stephen, for the poo. Some issues were cool rules issues. D weapons were a bit silly. Invisibility was a bit silly. There were few and far between. There was some though, some that could have been tweaked. And what they did with Heresy 2.0.
What is black and white and eats like a horse? A zebra.
I knew that one, Steve. Thank you for the 5. Hey, Zedek, man, how's it going? So the thing is, so what they did with 7th edition, right? And here's the thing, you know, tell me a person. Fucking hell, Steve. Tell me a person out there. Is there anyone out there who looks at the Heresy rules and thinks they're rubbish? The layout's rubbish. The layout's rubbish. The actual rules, though. I don't know if I've ever heard anyone who's looked at the Heresy rules and gone, they're crap. Most people go, the Heresy rules are really good. They're 7th. And they took out the nonsense. They took out invisibility. They took out D weapons. They're 7th edition. John McCardle, oh my God. Thank you so much for 20 gifted members. You absolute fucking hero. Star Pilot came in here earlier, John, and gifted 50. I'm just saying that because I know you don't like to be beat. But she came in here earlier and gifted 50 of the finest. And you've come in and gifted 20. Oh my God, you people. Thank you so much for Tony, man. You're a hero. Up to 101 of the finest new members. Heresy is a complete joke. No one should play it. Oh. Okay, I'll get rid of that Age of Darkness box I picked up then. You keep talking about 7th, maybe do a battle report for the bike. Literally spoke to Joe about that on Tuesday. I have a 7th edition rulebook in the studio. We're thinking about doing a 7th edition stream. We obviously, I think I'm almost 100% sure we still have the 8th and 9th edition rulebooks as well. But I'm thinking about trying to do a 7th edition stream. I don't know if it's going to work. Might try and give it a go. I miss it. Looking back, it does feel that way. They could have easily fixed the most insane issues, but instead went the opposite way and made everything OTT and made people thankful for a new overhaul system. It does kind of feel that, doesn't it? It just feel a little bit like that. It just feel like they end timesed it with templates. Yes, it does feel a little bit like they end timesed it, basically. They went, new kit. Everyone will be happy about the new one then. Isn't 7th historical wargaming now? Yeah, pretty much, Jill. Pretty much. I miss my Basilisk templates. Do you know what I miss? I miss guest range weapons. That's what I miss. Invisible Wraith Knights were nonsense. Combat is great in Heresy. 40k needs initiative again. It does. 100%. You need a 7th edition codex, I'll send it to you. We just need 2 7th edition codexes for armies that we've got and then be able to put together legal lists, which is going to be difficult. To be honest with you. Never played Heresy. You'll look at the Mechanicum and go, yes, please. Wish someone I knew played it. The Heresy Mechanicum looks so much better than 40k Mechanicum. They don't know how good they have it. All flamers and ordnance. Ugh. I miss flame templates. And then when you had like actually, do people ever remember the Apocalypse templates as well? Like when you had a flamer, if you had a flamer on a Knight Valiant back in 7th edition, not the Knight Valiants were there in 7th edition, you wouldn't have rolled 3d6. You'd got that fucking great big flamer template out. Do you remember that one? My dwarf cannon guesses were pretty bad, but I loved guess range weapons. Mortars, guard mortars were guess range. I love those. I love Wise of the Originals, says Dave, yeah. None of the new units would work with 7th, no initiative or armor facings. No, we need old codexes. And we'd need to find enough units that appeared in the old codexes to make it work, Des. That's the problem. It's more of a challenge to just grab the rulebook and play, but I think it'd be fun. Just off to shower clouds. You people are amazing. Amazing, amazing. We've still, by the way, chat, we still have some grey names in chat. We've got Harborn, Gyro, more Harborn, Electman. Electman's still a grey name. I don't know if he's got a gifted turn, accepted turn on there because he's been here for quite a lot. Loken, Knight of the Fallen. We've got a fair few greys. If you want to start sniping, Trench, look, another one. Scott Atkinson, 666, Motan 22, Shrunken Designer. Look at all these grey names. Digerido, the Standard Operator, exclamation mark gift, Lewis Chappie. Any of you wonderful people that I've just spoken about who've got grey names, exclamation mark snipe me, all one word. Put that in chat, and then someone will definitely try and shoot at you. Can't you just re-roll 40k to 7th edition? No, less re-rolls in 10th. I can't turn on gifts because my account is branded, apparently. Loken, don't tell them that. Don't tell them that. Delete that comment. Exclamation mark snipe me. And that's it then, right? Then you can be my munch. You have no idea what I'm talking about. You can be my munch then, can't you? There you go. Standard Operator's done it. And it will say, I want to be a cool kid. Borrow, forget to take back. Jill tries to snipe someone. Ah, you didn't get Standard Operator. Who knew? Exclamation mark grift. Yeah, that was just for you, Demogorgon. Because we're grifting here on the channel. Thank you so much for the gifted, Jill. Anyway, you're a hero. Love you. You're all amazing. All 220 of you that are still watching are amazing. Still only 168 likes. Who hasn't? Which lazy fucker hasn't hit the like button? That's free. Siege reached what legend? Thank you. Oh, Harborn did it all by himself. What a hero. Thank you, man. Become a Jarl tier member all by himself. You're amazing. Thank you so much. Wait, Logan, is this right?
We went from a large buffet with many selections and combinations, but that was too Sion Custodes, so now you all get to eat a burger. Add mustard, remove onion, eat your damn burger. That's 10th. Thank you for the 10. You're not wrong. I can't disagree with you. Yeah. I'm really. Do you know what though, Siege Roots? I find this. I have a legitimate, genuine, constant mental battle in my head. Right? Genuine, honest, constant battle in my head. Okay. First things first. Less locked faction rules to colours, so you don't have an Ultramarines detachment. You just have a detachment that feels like Ultramarines. I was kind of like, this is really good. Accessibility-wise, this is really, really good. It's really, really positive. You know. Orks that aren't locked to freebooters or goths, really positive. I think genuinely positive. But then it's kind of, I don't know, it feels like, I feel like you're right. There's a little bit of flavour that's gone here. And it's, I don't know, the complication perhaps has been removed from the layers of warlord traits and relics and psychic powers. But then they've layered in all this other complication nonsense where I don't feel like the game's any less complicated. I'd argue it's not necessarily more complicated, but it's complicated now in the wrong places. And every unit has an ability, and every stratagem is worded with 25 million words because rules lawyers. I don't know, is it just me? Robert, thank you so much for 5 gifted, man. What a hero. You got Immortal immediately, who asked to be sniped, but we still haven't quite yet got Standard Operator. Standard Operator. That's how the song goes, isn't it? No? Yeah?
You're amazing. You people are amazing. ! Discord if you're a new member. Get yourself in the Discord server. Come and say hello. Make sure you connect your YouTube account to your Discord account so everything unlocks properly. Otherwise, it will look like a small Discord server, but it's not a small Discord server. It's actually quite a big Discord server. Every single time we go live or drop a new video in the future, Discord will notify you if you have the right reaction role. Take a look around. If you've been gifted a Skull tier member for a mere £4 only, you can upgrade to Jarl tier member. If you do a Jarl tier membership, then once a month there's a giveaway that goes live in the council section in Discord that Skull tiers can't see. And when that giveaway goes live, you just click and enter for free. All right, one click, boop, you enter for free. If you are the lucky randomly selected winner at the end of the month, you win a combat patrol box or a Vanguard stroke Spearhead box of your choice. Okay. Michael, thank you for the gifted. You're a hero. Absolute legend. Evening, guys and girls. Are you saying you just turned up, Madlarkin? Oh my god. Am I the only person who enjoys playing Tent? No, Lynch, this is my point, right? Oh, bless you, I love you. This is my point. I'm really enjoying playing Tent, but I don't think it's a good addition. Standard operator become a member all by himself. Look at that. Should have just been sniping me a bit longer, mate. Thank you, though. Get yourself a Discord, man. It is not just flavour. If no one is locked in, then you don't have to try to make X, Y, and Z good because the expected thing is for everyone to play that Black Templar. Yeah. Just did it anyways. Thanks, man. Hello.
Hello.
You're a bit late.
Only a smidge. Hardly noticeable.
Yeah. Well, they're going to get a slightly longer one tonight anyway because it's normally a game. But not by,
okay.
But so you've got like another half hour, but not by loads. Like half an hour. Just gave it away. Yeah. What are you doing?
I'm looking at the water bus for tomorrow.
Oh no, what were you doing?
Oh, all the household shenanigans that you miss on a Thursday.
Oh, okay. It's because I'm too busy. What's the word? Caring for Jonas.
I don't know of anyone who would have actually told someone they can't play their Ultra Breeze as Iron Hands as long as they didn't take UM data sheets.
Do you know what, Stephen? Thanks for the wife. Do you know what? The only time I ever heard any issues with any of that stuff was literally at Warhammer World. Warhammer's a 10th. Okay, Wee Man, honestly, this has to be probably one of the most accurate statements, I think, for 10th edition ever. I love it. I love it. It's perfect. Wee Man says, chat, 10th doesn't blow me away, but doesn't drive me away either. Perfect. Perfect. Absolutely agree. Thank God she's here to save him. Been striking out all night. No, I haven't. It's been a good stream. Almost 200 likes, chat. Smashed the membership goal. Almost hit the super chat goal. It's been a good stream, you fuckers. Might only can play about 40k as the rules change every 4 years. Every 3 years they change. To be fair. Get yourself in Thanes. Get to talk to Joe at 3 AM. Yes, but Thanes is significantly more expensive. Oh, here we go. Here we go, Luce. You've not got the stream open, have you?
No.
No, so she can't see it anyway. 40k medic. You loading it up?
No.
No? Can't see it, see?
Do you want me to load it up?
No. What
All right, fine, I'll load it up.
What happened in today's stream, Luce?
In today's one?
Yeah, my hobby stream today. What happened in the hobby stream?
I don't know.
It's about that tall.
Oh, Ben?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
They think they're grassing me up.
Oh.
What they don't know is Luce already knows all about it. Wee Man says, Luce, he went and did a poo and left us alone.
He left you alone unattended.
Well, I wasn't going to do it on stream, was I? Luce doesn't like us anymore, says Stephen. It's almost comforting, like feel-good crap TV. Not everything has to be a blockbuster. No, absolutely. I'll tag her in Discord. You can. She already knows. She already knows 40k medic. There should be some kind of fine for trying to grass me in. Thanes is just £10 a week if you look at it that way. Facts, yeah, absolutely. It's just not as compelling to me as much as before. I used to spend days thinking about synergies and little micro. Now I have touched my list in 3 months. Do you know what, Siege Roots? That's, honestly speaking, that's one of the things that's I found very different for me specifically. But oddly, okay, so I used to spend hours in Battlescribe, list tinkering and list tailoring and changing and tweaking and all that kind of stuff. Like hours and hours and hours in Battlescribe, trying to tinker and optimize and make, you know, honestly. And I used to love the list building aspect and take a model out here and add a plasma pistol in there, all that kind of stuff, right? Really genuinely enjoyed that. And I haven't done that now. Now I basically don't I don't list build until the day of the stream, and then I do it about 4 hours before we go live, genuinely, right? That's how that works for me now. I just don't list build anymore. Interestingly, though, I've pivoted to Age of Sigmar, which has a similar points system to 40k in the sense that you can't pay for individual models, etc. But I'm not list building either because I'm starting from scratch because I don't already have an army. I'm just building shit that I think looks cool. So I don't know, like, was list building a byproduct of 40k that I enjoyed? Because I don't feel like I need it for Age of Sigmar. Like I've shown you already, right? When I get to build cool models like this cheeky chap here, like today, this little fella on the wind. Boop, boop. Look at him. What a cool model. I don't really give a fuck about list building when I can just pick cool models. So, you know, I don't know. Yeah, it's definitely something that's not there anymore. Siege Roots, thank you so much for the gifted membership. You're a legend. Thanes get to pose all the juicy questions to the guests. They do, yeah. Jill says Thanes is cheaper than a coffee a day. Bargain.
Coffees are so expensive.
Coffees are expensive. But it is cheaper than a coffee a day. Facts. Do not listen to Wee Man. Thanes is not a cult. We are a community. Hashtag not cult. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I showed them the new t-shirt design today in the Thanesley.
What's the new t-shirt design?
It's fucking great. I've shown it to you previously, but now it's been coloured in. So now it's been coloured in. It looks amazing. Photos. All photos. Oh, where's it gone?
Oh, I wondered if it was that one.
Yeah, it's coloured in now. Boop. Ha! You didn't get to see it. Ha! You're not in Thanes. Finally in the Discord. Well done, Madlarkin. Madlarkin is a great name, by the way. Love it. List building in OS is more about how do I fit all these cool models into one list and less about optimizing. Yeah, absolutely. Cheapest cult I'm not in. I don't think it's inherently wrong, but having it taken away doesn't feel good. No, I agree. 100%. I think the thing that's getting to me the most at the moment. So I've kind of accepted my fate with 10th edition, and I've accepted that the list changing's not going to change, and I've accepted that I've accepted everything, and I've accepted that it's not my most fun edition, but I am having fun with it, and I've accepted all these things. Okay, so I don't want to continue to moan about it because I've accepted all these things. But the reason why I then get worked up again and it all kind of comes out again is because I think when you look at the difference between the Orc and the Custodes article, there is an imbalance that exists. When you look at the difference between Space Marines and AdMech, there is an imbalance that exists. And I think that's where I have my biggest issue. My biggest issue is that there is too much imbalance between factions. Custodes apparently looking terrible, according to people that have seen the leaks. I haven't seen them. Orcs from the article look good. Even from the two articles. From the two articles, Orcs look more fun than Custodes do to me personally. Hang on, how do you say that one? Magentian? Magentian? Thank you so much for 10 gifted memberships. You fucking legend. What a hero. Up to 120. Ah! Thanes is totally not a cult, honest. I hear Wee Man has been snitching. Yeah. Yeah. Did I miss your thoughts on the new Heirs Command rules? I haven't actually done them yet, Alec Man. We covered 40k today because I built an AOS model earlier. I will jump on the AOS article at some point in the next few days. I promise you. Just for you, I promise you I will. Because they look interesting, but there is some layered concern in there. I would never. That's cultist propaganda. I love you lot. You're all amazing. I thought Jill was our not a cult leader. Yeah. Cool link to me, Mr. On a video camera on the internet. Oh, what for you, Lucy?
What?
Snitches get cross stitches.
I like that one.
They did, when they heard your voice for the first time 10 minutes ago, they did all get excited about a loose fact.
Oh man, no, not tonight. I'm so beyond frazzled. I don't think I could string a sentence together to give you a good fact.
This morning, so a lot of you don't know this. I don't know exactly what goes on. I know a lot of you know that we home educate, but Luce also has half terms where they have a week off and they don't do any learning. Because we actually do, in home educating, educate the children. Shock. We do it though. I educate them. That is my educator. Educated. Right.
Okay, all right.
So we have a half term, and because of their weekend days are Sundays and Wednesdays. Odd, we split their week in half because it's easy for them to manage. Your half term is Thursday through to the next Thursday, isn't it? That's like the week off you take.
Yeah.
You don't do like Monday to Sunday. You do Thursday to Thursday, right? So up until yesterday, they were on half term, and today was their first day back. The bonus of half term, the bit that I like the most about half term, is the fact that there isn't a single alarm clock, which is great. This morning's alarm clock was 6 a.m. and I think we're both suffering a little bit from the 6 a.m. alarm. Getting back into getting up early. I fucking hate alarms anyway, chat. To be fair,
I liked getting up early. What's kicked me in the face today is
I feel like every time I play 40k I learn more rules I am playing wrong.
Austin, thank you for the 10 you're a hero. Thank you for your first ever super chat. I play the game for a living, and I feel like I do the same thing. So don't you worry, mate. Me and you were in the same boat. Go on.
what's kicked me in the face today is the enthusiasm, which should be amazing. That they're enthusiastic about doing stuff, anything. What should we do, Mum? Okay, well, let's make donuts. What's next, Mum? Okay, well, the greenhouse fell over, so we'll clear that up. Okay, what's next, Mum? Right, well, the dog needs brushing. Yep, I'll do it. Why aren't I like, this is amazing? Instead it's, what's next, Mum? Okay, right, so we'll make some pasta. Okay, let's make some pasta. Woo, let's do it. Oh my God, stop.
Normally after the half term, you're just like prized them out of the living room.
I know.
You should be
What's
cheerful.
happened?
You should be cheerful.
But now they're like, what's tomorrow, Mum? So I've had to talk through, because we're going over to Portsmouth Historic Dockyard tomorrow to go and see a real submarine. And they're really excited, but to get there, it's like a chain reaction of buses and coaches and times, and we really have to leave at this time. Ben, I'm looking at you. Nobody cares what shoes you're wearing. Ben, I'm looking at you. We've got to be out this door at 7:15. I'm looking at you, Ben. We're out the door at 7:15. So me and James are already trying to manage Ben. And because there's such a lot to get through to even get there, I'm there saying, what can you do for Mum, Ben, that would make Mum's morning run a bit smoother? I could stay in bed so I don't get under your feet. No.
I'm gonna walk around at 6:15 with a saucepan and a spoon. Boom, boom, boom. That's me tomorrow morning. Because they don't like getting out of bed, them children. 7:15 public transport was a bold choice.
Is the, because my original tickets with National Express weren't these tickets. They changed my tickets.
Because they're arseholes.
It's put a squeeze on everything, which is fine. It's a wonderful learning curve of the plan now needs replanning, and this will happen a lot. So it is what it is. Stew over it for a couple of days, be mad for a couple of days, and then we need to replan it.
Yeah. Sounds like you've raised some obedient cultists there. That's exactly what I'd call them. Yeah.
It was just Let's do it. Woo! Let's do it. Right, tone it down. Tone it the fuck down. I'm an adult and I'm just about hanging on today. What are we learning? Nothing.
Nothing.
We're learning nothing.
Oh, Mrs. Peachy's messaging me. Shall I read that instead of chat?
No. Don't be that guy.
Don't be that guy.
Don't be that guy.
Oh, but Peachy's or chat.
Yeah, and Peachy will still be there
Peachy will
at
chat
half
this.
9 when you say goodnight.
We're best friends now.
Ed, did you hear that?
Ed, I've not seen Ed, so.
Well.
When we were sat having some food, me, Peachy, and Joe, I offered Peachy Joe's job.
Wow.
Wait, it's 7:15 in the morning too? Who knew? Yeah, I know, yeah. 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 Actually, do you know what? In the spring, summertime, getting up at 6:30 in the morning doesn't bother me that much. It's the winter time where I struggle with it.
I really liked being up early. It was just night. You know when...
I don't mind it in the summer when the birds are singing and it's like it's fresh outside just before the heat starts to hit. I'm like, I'll get up, I'll sit in the garden in that weather and just enjoy the kind of chill sunshine. But in the winter, when your alarm's going off at 7, you know there's no sunlight for another 2 more hours. I'm like, no, I don't want to. No, I shouldn't be getting up in the dark. There's people out there in Scandinavia going, are you fucking kidding me? We get all week round darkness in the winter. I'm like, no. I want it to be daylight only. Daylight only when I want to get up.
I love the summer. It will very quickly get to a point that Emmy can't have daytime walks, so she'll be really early in the morning or like 10 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
Because she just can't cope. But it's really nice in the morning when it's so quiet. There's no traffic yet, and you can actually hear the birds.
Sam says, the boys, what were they today, Mum? Please, the length of my patience. Next time Peachy comes to play, make
God.
Joe dress up like a fancy waiter to deliver tea. I think the next time Peachy comes to play, I'll let Joe play him.
Although, you had a nice little window into my Thursday life when Ben had his dice roll session today. And
he was sat there learning?
The transport. My plan is that when it's really hard to get a 6-year-old interested in history, because 6-year-old's chronology is sketchy anyway, because it was either happening with the dinosaurs or with Star Wars. Everything in between is happening at the same time. So it's really tricky to get Ben interested in history. So my plan is I'm just going to find a photo on the internet of an old thing. It can be anything. And then just say, what do you think about that? What do you think it is? Where do you think it is? And see what he comes up with. And he picked out some kind of like tram car thing. It's not quite a car. It's definitely not a train. It's like a tram car thing. I don't even know what it is. So I thought, brilliant, we'll go on the internet together. We ended up learning the science behind train wheels, which I know he won't remember, but I was glued to it. It was great. And then he tried to book a holiday.
Yeah. Yep.
I was here going, no, we're not booking on that.
Don't press that button. Don't press that button.
Don't press that one. And then there was something else as well. And I was thinking, you know, I don't care. He's sat here for half an hour straight watching everything, so I don't even care today.
Wee Man saw what you saw today.
What's that?
He said, I saw Liam's face today in the natural light. His natural beauty blew me away.
Aww.
Apparently the natural light's kinder to me than the studio lights.
Well, artificial light does show up every shadow on your face, whereas natural light is kinder, I think.
Radiant is the word we should probably use. I see 5:30 both times a day. Oh, we went over 200 likes. Look at you wonderful people. You beautiful human beings. We got 13 minutes chat before I'm going to go. I am going to cut the stream slightly shorter this evening for a number of reasons. Need to get the kids to bed for reasons you've just heard.
They're already in bed.
Sleep in bed.
Oh no, they've got iPads in bed.
So yeah, so we need to get them asleep in bed because they've got an early start tomorrow.
Well, excuse me for having a sit down.
Well, the longer that they're on the iPads, the harder the morning's going to be.
No, because you're going to do your saucepan thing.
I'm going to fucking...
So it's fine. They'll be up anyway. We can sleep on the couch. It'll be
fine. What I'll
do
is I'll back the bike into the front door and just fire it up. That'll wake the neighbourhood.
I think all of us will shit ourselves if you do that.
4K is not your friend. Fuck you, Carl. Wee Man is also half blind, so take it for what it is. Thanks, Rob. Thanks. Yeah, I'll make sure they're up. Don't you worry. Although I can't. I need to get out the door pretty early tomorrow anyway to drive to Birmingham. Birmingham. Only I'm a chef in the Royal Fleet Auxiliary. Oh, treat yourself. Ugh. That sounds like long hours. I couldn't do it. I can't. I can barely cook for my own family, let alone for like hundreds of people at once.
All I know is, if you're kitchen staff and you're already in a low mood, do not go into pot wash. It will finish you off. Don't do it.
I've never worked in a kitchen, and I never want to.
It's
No, never want to.
Oh. You definitely make friends very quickly in a kitchen because it's horrendously long hours, and you're all fed up at the same time.
Yeah. I don't want to ever work in a kitchen. I'm not interested in that.
Staff dues are better with kitchen.
Yeah. I play Custodes. I'm looking forward to the challenge. I'll have to change the way I play and find out how to make it work. It will make me better at the game, hopefully, says Dan. It's a quality attitude, mate. Well done. There's a quality attitude, that, to be fair. Chocolate Salty Balls. I missed that song. Great song. From Chef. South Park.
For ages I thought it was Shep. Honestly, whenever I'd hear people going, I was like, what the hell is this song? And people said chef, although as though it sounded like Shep.
I love that perfect rendition there as well, by the way. Thanks for coming in and just singing to us. I noticed you've stopped. This is the problem, you see. Luce actually likes streaming.
It's nice to talk to people.
Because you have stopped doing what you were doing to talk to chat.
I do need to do what I'm doing. It's not going to do itself.
I've noticed you went from typing away, and I was like, "Can we have a loose fight?" You're like, "No, I'm busy," and then that stopped. The arms are now crossed. The microphone's in front of you, and I was like, "Still working?"
I'm busy.
How are you?
I'm busy thinking what I'm going to type in. Leave me alone. It's my first day back. I'm hanging on by a thread. Leave me alone.
Oh, amazing. First proper jobs with kitchens, pot wash in a Greek restaurant, too many tiny dishes. Don't they all just get broken anyway?
You're not allowed to do that anymore.
What? Why not?
My hen do. We were supposed to smash some dishes and they said health and safety, you're not allowed to do it anymore.
Health and safety ruins everything.
I'm sure there's a good reason. It was flying crockery, so...
Yeah.
Not clay shooting, is it?
What do we think overall anyway, chat? If we go back on topic, what do we think overall? Custodes and Orks rules this Saturday. Are we excited for both? Either? Neither? What are we thinking? We are showcasing on Tuesday. I am running Custodes into Bronze Orks. I have no idea what the book looks like yet because I haven't actually looked at it because I like nowadays, because I don't do, at the moment at least, and this is going to change in the future, trust me, but at the moment at least I don't typically do pre-order day content. And I have a couple of reasons for this, right? And I wanted to talk to you guys about this for a little while, actually. And the loyal 190 of you that are still around, we'll talk about it right now. I went for a phase of doing Codex preview videos, and they didn't do incredibly well. They did all right. It didn't do terribly, but they did incredibly well. They're actually a fair amount of work. Now, in 10th edition, there's so much changes compared to 9th edition. I can't really do the same format that I used to do, you know, 5 biggest change or 3 biggest changes, etc., etc., etc. And I've been thinking about how to do a different format. And it got me thinking. Every man and his fucking dog who has a preview copy puts a video up at 10 o'clock in the morning on pre-order day. Am I actually ever going to gain anything from doing that? I don't know if I am. So I like the fact that we do the preview streams on the Tuesdays and Thursdays typically. But I don't think we actually really gain anything from showcasing a book at 10 o'clock in that preview format. If you're all going to sit there and tell me, actually, that format's really cool, maybe I can think about doing something. Now, the bonus I do have is because I have the studio space, the issue I have filming here, this morning when I sat down listening to you trying to teach a child about transportation or whatever it was and ended up watching a YouTube video about train wheels.
I think it was a success. We learned about
I
listened,
wheels
and why they are the shape they are.
So I understand the engineering behind trains because I used to work on them. And I did a wheels and axles course. And I sat here listening to that, following along, because I'd done my wheels and axles course. There's no fucking way a 6-year-old who can barely spell his own name was actually taking any of that in.
Well, at least we can also say that the TUI website is very user-friendly. nearly booked a holiday. It's very,
Okay,
very user-friendly.
Brilliant. As long as it's not my fucking credit card. So if you wanted it back, I could potentially, because so sat here I wouldn't have been able to record, obviously, because child there learning. But what I can do in the new studio is I could potentially take these books to the new studio and record something, maybe. More excited for Orks and Custodes, but I'm stoked for both. I hope Orks can just be damn fun. That sounds cool. Ork Wars, to be honest, just finished my first Berserker after coming to Khorne from Ravengard. He looks like he's been in the Warp a while. Sounds amazing, Lucky. Love it. Need to see more Custodes in action to judge. Orks look like fun no matter what. That's good. Fun's good. Give me green blood Orks. Amazing. Like everything else in 10th, I'm aggressively whelmed and indifferent. I'd rather see it in action than on paper. It's all different. Thank you, Star. It's all different. No, it's all different when World Eaters get it anyway. What do you mean? Or when we get it anyway. Oh, okay, cool. I thought you meant World Eaters then, but I get it. I'm not that excited for either, though. If I was required to pick one, I'd say Orks. Orks have speed freaks models. I think they're super cool. I consider getting some just to paint. That sounds amazing. I'd rather see the new codex in action, says Jill. Format's wank, but I do get pushed all that content from people I don't watch. Might bring in new bodies. It possibly, yeah. Summaries, run thoughts, standout points. That would be a fun format, maybe. Maybe I need to think of something we can do with it, potentially. I want to do more things with the studio space. Although we've already, bringing in the extra Liam and Joe show on Tuesdays, having the Liam show Joe back on Thursdays are both new studio shows. Then adding in this interview format, which I'm loving, by the way. You say that, but my 4-year-old now understands square and cube roots because he listened to my math nerd self talking about it for something. Kids are sponges. Kids are sponges, to be fair. You should read the Mike Brooks books. They keep the humour, but they show their cunning and brutal aspects. Maybe one day. I have, from Elecman, I have a Age of Sigmar Lumineth Realm Lords book to listen to, but currently I need to finish off Fellowship of the Ring, narrated by Andy Serkis first. Then I'll move on to my first Lumineth book. Too many things to read, not enough time in the day. I listen to you doing a review as long as it can you going, what the fuck is that?
Loose. Is Scotland's national animal a unicorn?
Apparently.
Isn't Scotland's national animal a haggis?
Three-legged haggis.
Yeah. For book content, don't do Man Reads book for launch days. That doesn't help. No, I never used to do that. If you really scout back to 9th edition Hardball and you look at some of the codex reviews I did on 9th edition codexes, that's the format I like to do. Can't wait for your thoughts when you get around to it. The book, I'm looking forward to listening to it, actually. And if you want content, Stefan, that says more is more of me going, what the fuck is that raw moments, then that's just our content in general, to be fair. With you. Excuse me. Anyway, chat, we have got 4 minutes left. If you've got any gifts to give, now's the time to get them in. If you've got any super chats to chuck out there to get Amy to read to me, now's the time to get them in. We've got literally 4 minutes left, and I'm on a hard stop because I have to get up at 6 in the morning and be on the road by about 6:30 to get there in time. Because I've also got to go fill the car up. I'll have to stop halfway for my toilet break because I'm an old man now. I have Harley Rider bladder. What do you think the chances are of an updated Khan model? I really want to model of him, but dislike GW's model. The other idea I have is spend an extra £40 on 2 models to bash one. I don't think he'll get a new model this edition, Lucky. I don't think he'll get a new model for a while. It's quite it's a relatively recent sculpt. Pre-recorded Liam and Joe show style reviewing codexes. It doesn't work, Kev. Anything with Joe in doesn't work for that kind of video. So could we do a Liam and Joe show pre-recorded codex review type thing? Yeah, we can. It'll be 90 minutes long whilst he waffles about what he had for breakfast last week, because that's what Joe's like. The whole point in the codex reviews was they're 20 to 30 minutes, easily consumable, because it increases the CTR and it increases the number of people that will find the channel and therefore increases the potential number of new subscribers. Joe cannot do short form, concise 20-minute content. It's not possible. And I wouldn't want to mold him into doing that kind of content because that's not Joe.
I was just thinking, would you want him to?
No, I absolutely wouldn't want him to. It's not a criticism. I love him for the way he is. The Liam and Joe show often overruns by half an hour because he waffles. But I would never want to change him. He's a beautiful human, and I want him to stay exactly as he is. 90 Joe reviews breakfast show. A colourful pre-recorded review wouldn't be unwelcome, followed by sarcasm-laden inaugural battle report. Anywho, right, people. Thank you so much for hanging out with us tonight, despite the fact it wasn't a game. You people are amazing. I love it, right? You're incredible people. Hung out with me also, built an AOS model today, talked rules with us tonight. Thank you for all the super chats. Thank you for all the gifted memberships. You people are absolutely amazing. I have a question. You said on an earlier stream that the new Striking Scorpions were awful to paint. Why was that? I have them because I think Aspect Warriors are cool. Lots of... So mostly because I was wildly out of practice because I hadn't painted anything in over a year. Lots of tiny detail. I then followed Warhips' guide on the green and didn't know how to correct that. So every time I made a mistake, I was panicking. So they're actually stunning models. I found them a real challenge. If you're a relatively achieved painter, honestly, you'll really enjoy yourself with them, I think. So don't panic. Eddie could do that content. Here's 10 minutes of the most try-hard stuff I could find in the book. I love Joe's waffling. Absolutely. Anyway, like I said, thank you so much for hanging out with us tonight. Thank you for all the super chats, the gifted memberships. Thank you for all the likes on the stream. And thank you to all those people who did that earlier today as well. Big shout out to Star for 50 gifted. Shout out to John for 20 gifted. Magentian or whatever your name is for 10 as well. There's more 10s in there as well, wasn't there? So thank you to everybody for all the gifted memberships. You people are insanely kind all the time. Stephen for the 10, there it is. That's the ones I was looking at. Thank you so much for
Now we know Brom's favourite number is 9. Can I suggest we change his channel nickname to Yuck Tropicana? I hear he hates juice. Speak no evil, monkey.
Wow, yes, dude. Amazing. You people are incredible. So tomorrow night, chat, right? Because you lot that are still watching are probably most of the people that will join us for 40k After Dark, right? So tomorrow night, chat, at some point, we'll go live for 40k After Dark. Normally, it's 8:30 in new time frame. That being said, tomorrow, it may be slightly later. I have to get back from Birmingham, have some dinner, set the stream up, and go live. I would love to get it ready for 8:30 again, but it might not be possible. So it might be that we go live at 9, half 9, and we go to old 40k After Dark timings. The bonus being is the weekends for Luce and I are not alarm clocks. It's not too much of a problem for us. And I have no plans on Saturday other than to sit here and build some models again and chill out. So please just keep an eye on Discord, keep an eye on YouTube, and it will tell you when we go live, right, for 40k After Dark. Perfect. You people have been amazing. I'm going to have to wait for Carlos's super chat to come through, and I'm going to say goodnight to you wonderful people. I'm going to take myself up, have a shower, go to bed myself. That's my plan tonight. Very tired.
It's better that Joe waffles than Joe pancaking. Unless you add maple syrup.
Thanks, Carlos. Joe waffles instead of Joe pancaking? Yeah, get it? Brilliant. Some shit jokes to end the show. You're amazing. Thank you so much for watching, you wonderful people. We'll see you in the next one.